All right, so today's lecture is about the topic information modeling, right? Let's understand the concept of information modeling first of all. Information modeling says that till now, what we have done, till now we have gathered information, right? Through requirement analysis, through feasibility study, what we have gathered the information from different stakeholders of the project. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to represent this particular information in a graphical format, so that we can represent the concepts of the relationship, the constraints, the rules, the operations which are need to be specified on data semantics. So what we are going to do, or we are going to define that information modeling is a process of representation of concepts and the relationships, constraints, rules, and operations to specify data semantics for a chosen domain of discourse. That means for the chosen project. Typically, it specifies relations between kinds of things, but also include relations between or within the individual things. So if we have a group of things, or we call it, technically we call it as entities, we have different entities and the relationships are being defined between different entities. It can provide shareable, stable, organized structure of information requirements or knowledge for the domain context. That means whatever knowledge we have gathered, whatever knowledge is required, that has to be presented in an organized structure. So basically, I can also say that this is going to be presenting a logical structure or a logical design, logical structure or a logical design for a specified project or for a specified knowledge of domain. So this is what the information modeling does. Now this is important, and we have many type of diagrams which are going to be used in this particular information modeling, such as ER diagrams. We are going to study DFDs, data flow diagram. ER diagram is entity relationship diagram, then state transition diagram, data dictionary, decision table, etc., etc. So if we focus ER diagrams, so ER diagrams are the diagrams or the graphical representation that is going to describe the data object. The data object is going to be described in ER diagrams. Data flow diagram is going to focus on process and the function specification. That means how the data is flowing and how the data is transformed with the help of process from input data to the output data, right? Then we have state transition diagram that defines what, that focuses on behavior or control specification. So you can see different diagrams are focusing on different concepts. Example, ER diagram is focusing on data object. Data flow diagram is focusing on process and functions. State transition diagram is focusing on behavior and control specification. Data dictionary is going to give you the detailed study of the data, that is the metadata. And decision table is going to provide you a logical structure for a set of circumstances or conditions and what actions are needed to be taken. So let's understand these two concepts, that is what is ER diagram and what is decision table. So first of all, let's see what decision tables are actually. Decision table, as the name suggests, that it is a table which is going to help you in taking up the decisions on specific conditions, right? What decisions or what actions are need to be taken if a specific condition arises. So a decision table is a list that has causes and effects in a matrix form. Each column represents a unique combination, right? So this is the table. It is in a matrix form. Matrix, we all understand what is matrix form, right? Each column you can see here is, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. What are these? These are unique combination of conditions. These are the conditions. Conditions are also termed to be as causes. You can see here, causes are also termed to be as conditions, right? Then in next particular part of table, what we have the effects, or we also call the effects as actions, right? What actions are to be taken in specific conditions. So each unique column will have specific conditions, and according to these conditions, the actions will be stated. So basically, it is a logical structure which is defining a purpose, that in which condition what action needs to be taken, right? So this will give you a clarity. Now, if we just see the decision table structure, how generalized structure is, it is divided into 4 quadrants. The 4 quadrants are, the first quadrant is termed to be as conditions, condition alternatives, that means condition alternatives, test case, we can call it as test case. So test case 1, test case 2, test case 3, etc., etc. Then third quadrant includes the actions. Actions, we can have any number of actions, we can have any number of conditions. There is no limitation on those particular terms. Then we have the action entries just below the condition entries. Now let's see, just taking an example, I just want to explain how the decision table is prepared, and taking on the example, it will give you a clear picture how we can design the decision table for specific example, right? In this particular example, we have taken that if a particular person places an order, then what discount rate he will get. So in this scenario, we have 3 conditions, right? The 3 conditions are, if the person orders less than 50 units, if he does the cash on delivery, and if it is purchasing, or it is placing an order on wholesale outlet. So depending on these 3 conditions, the discount rate is defined. Discount rate can be 0%, 2%, 4%, and 6%. Now you can see this particular part is what? This particular part is the condition part, right? This particular part is the action or effects. This is causes or conditions. This is effects or actions. And what are these? These are the condition entries or causes entries, right? This is first entry, this is second entry, this is third entry, and so on and so forth. And what is this? This is the 4th quadrant, termed to be as action entries. What is this called as? Action entries. That means according to C1, that is condition 1, what action has to be taken. So this is action entry. So this is how the decision table is divided into 4 quadrants. Now let's see how it works. So these 3 conditions are taken up. Less than 50 units has been ordered. The cash on delivery has been taken up, and the order is on wholesale outlet or for any other. So first condition says, if all these 3 are yes, right, then they are going to give 4% discount. So for first condition, that is all condition are true, they'll give discount of 4%. Then condition second says that if the order is for less than 50 units and the cash on delivery is there, but the wholesale outlet is not chosen, then they are going to give the 2% discount. Third condition says, all these conditions are unique conditions, you can see, right? Third condition says that less than 50 units has been ordered, no cash on delivery, but wholesale outlet is selected, so it will be 2% discount again. For condition 4, what it has Less than 50 units ordered, cash on delivery, no, and no wholesale outlet is chosen, so no discount will be given. The discount is 0%. Then we have fifth condition, which says the order is not for less than 50 units. That means it is more than 50 units. So this is no. Cash on delivery, yes. Wholesale outlet, yes. Then it is getting the maximum discount, 6%. That means if the order is placed more than 50 units and cash on delivery is done and wholesale outlet is chosen, then the maximum discount will be given of 6%. Then sixth condition says 50 units ordered, no. Less than 50 units, no. Cash on delivery, yes. Wholesale outlet, no. Then 4% discount, and so on and so forth, right? So this is how a decision table is defined for a specific set of conditions or causes, and according to those set of actions are being taken place, right? Now let's take one more example to make give a clear picture about this. Sample decision table. Now see, sample decision table in this is, we are going to talk about the account, right? We are transacting certain amount to a specific account, right? In that particular condition, there are certain conditions, whether the transfer will be executed or not. In that, we have three conditions. Account already approved, condition 1. OTP, that is one-time password match. This is condition 2. Sufficient money is there in the account, condition 3. If all these three are okay, right, then what will happen? If any of those is not true, then what will happen, right? Then we have, so this particular is what? This is the condition stub. This is the action stub or the quadrant, right? This is the condition entries, and this is the action entries. Now, in this, the condition and actions, what will the actions can be? The actions is the transfer of money is done successfully, show a message as insufficient amount, or block the transaction in case of suspicion transaction. So we are going to see the different scenarios. The first case says that account is already approved, true. OTP matched, true, and sufficient amount is there. Then what will happen? Obviously, the transfer of money is done. That means it is executed, right? Second test case says that account already approved, true, password matched, one-time password, true, but money is not sufficient. Then what? Then it is going to show the message as insufficient amount. Third case, it says already approved account, yes. OTP is wrong, right? So OTP is not true, correct. Sufficient amount is there. Then what will happen? The transaction will be blocked because OTP is not matched. It can be suspecting as the transaction has been, can be a fraud, right? And last test case is defined as account has not been approved. So this is completely suspicious transaction. So this is how the decision table is defined. I hope you have understood this particular decision table.